Every pilot knows the key to a successful flight is a safe landing. The Delta Landing Project is a state-of-the-art 172-room interim housing project out in Pittsburgh. Let's find out more about this.
We are here to celebrate a wonderful occasion, the reopening of our Delta Landing Project. It is an interim housing program here that started out as one of the Project Room Key programs in the community. And I'm happy to say one of the first programs that were funded under the Home Key Project.
524 days ago, the governor stood at the end of this little walkway right there and announced the new thing, this thing called Home Key. Didn't exist 524 days ago. And now we're here today, $21.5 million later for the county, 172 units for our neighbors. What we did was we created a program and we provided funding. What the local governments did was make this happen.
So initially when we purchased the Motel 6, it was a traditional hotel. It had a lobby, it had about 175, 178 rooms or so, and it didn't have very much community space because it was operating as a hotel. But taking that over and transitioning that from a hotel to a facility that's really intended to stabilize individuals for a short period of time and offer them services so that they can move on to their permanent housing required a very different environment. The turnover wasn't so great. It wasn't day to day as you typically would see in a hotel, but really giving individuals time and space to stabilize was really important.
This particular project was a very collaborative project, and it was not only health services or real estate. It involved public works, facilities, capital projects, and real estate. It involved the council team and involved the CA office team, because we all needed to be in constant conversation to make sure that we were playing the game properly and that we had all the pieces that we needed and that everybody was on board or what needed to happen next.
Part of Delta Landing really is a program that not only meets an individual's immediate housing needs, but also their other health needs.
But at the heart of architecture really is feeling as though you make a really close connection with a client, and that you learn what their needs are, and that you're finding a way to make their lives better. And at the end, you're like, oh, I did it. You know, I solved the crossword puzzle, or in this case, I solved a problem of how to take an old hotel and make it into a more long-term living arrangement with clinics and laundry rooms and social spaces and things like that. So it's very rewarding. It's very rewarding.
The place is always at capacity, so that tells you right there that we are providing the services to the people that needs it.
Me and my significant other were asked to leave our apartment building that we had been there for 8 years. They had raised the rent to where we couldn't afford it anymore, so we both got 60-day notices. She went to her family and I went to a car, and I made a call to a help center. It still wasn't real up until yesterday when they said, you're going to come and pick up your key, because I had so many disappointments. I start to feel whole again, like I can rebuild from here.
We're not just a medical system. If you need housing, I've helped a lot of people get in housing. That's important. It affects the mental health and just other parts of your body. It affects everything. People need childcare, they need employment, they need all of these things. And Community Connect, I would have to say, with Contra Behavioral Health Services, has played a very important role in connecting people to these services.
We are providing the services we intended from the beginning, and I think that we have been adding more social services to the people that are benefiting from the property and the services that we provide there. I know that the intent will be to duplicate that as much as we can. We are working on something right now in the West County, something similar but a bit smaller. And so I think that it was a great training wheel for us to know that we can do it, that is making a difference. And there are things to improve.
Being homeless, think about it. These services are so, I'm grateful that they're in place, because without them, clients would not be able to survive.
So we have all the same values and mission, and even though it's working with individuals who are experiencing homelessness that might have really high needs, it's never stopped our partners over in Public Works from stepping in and saying, how can we help?
And I think if it wasn't for the people that work in the system, I personally wouldn't have made it. It's given me a new lease on life.
To learn more about our current and future projects, visit cccpublicworks.org. Watch the full episode of Inside Public Works on our YouTube channel.